Mm.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Brooke Lovelace. I'm the Executive Director of the Iowa Developmental Disabilities Council. We're not going to spend too much time today talking about the council as we want to turn it over to Nick and go over the first part of developing your disaster prep plan. So that's the most important. We do just a couple of housekeeping. We do have Carrie, here's our interpreter that you should see pinned. We also have closed captioning available down below if you hit the three little dot buttons that say more. And you should be able to bring that up. We are recording this presentation and we will send out the recording to folks after the fact. And with that, I think I will turn it over to Nick. He
Mhm.
will introduce himself and he'll Nick, your PowerPoint isn't up, just so you know that too. But we'll
Yep.
get started here. And we still
All
have
right.
people
Awesome.
coming in from the waiting room, so I'll go off mute here.
Sounds good. Thanks, Brooke. So I'm Nick Ostrom. I'm part of the Disaster PrepWise team. I've been with PrepWise for like 4.5 years now. But this is the first time that we're doing something like this. So I'm very excited to get to help you guys out today, building a disaster plan. We've got some of our other team members who are in the Zoom as well. I won't be able to answer questions during the webinar because we're going to be going at a little bit of a we just want to make sure we get everything in. So we've got Amy and Lauren and Leanna and Hala, who are all AmeriCorps members with us this summer, who are here to help out and answer any questions that you might have. We also have Dr. Sato Ishida, who's our leader and our project head and the person who is sort of responsible for all this. So thanks to all of our team who are here, and I will go ahead and get started. So, so we did our introductory presentation about a month ago. And so this is actually going through the Disaster PrepWise plan program and building your own plan. And so this week, we are going to start with building our emergency support network. So just a little bit of a refresher here. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, who is in charge of all of the disaster response and relief and preparation stuff, has three big recommendations to keep everybody ready to go in case of an emergency. So they want you to be informed, make a plan, and build a kit. And all of that is going to be hopefully preparing you to be without outside services for at least 3 days. So we've done the informational presentation. So we've checked Be Informed off the list, and we're now focusing on Make a Plan. Especially over the next couple of weeks, we will be helping you build a plan for yourself. And this is going to help you prepare for all kinds of emergencies. So whether it is a tornado or a thunderstorm or a winter storm, this plan will help you through all of it. So today, we're going to be focusing on steps 1 and 2, which actually work together very well. So step 1 is going to be completing a personal and household inventory. So that's just like asking yourself questions about you and your household and your needs. And then once you've asked those questions, we're going to figure out who is going to be able to help you out to make sure that you have everything that you need when you're actually responding to and preparing for and recovering from a disaster. So we are going to be kind of bouncing back and forth today because I'm going to be helping you build your own PrepWise plan and your own PrepWise account. And so you should have in an email from yesterday, I think, from the Iowa Developmental Disability Council, a username. So we are going to go through the process of actually creating the account on PrepWise. So for that, actually, probably I'll read these first. So we're going to go to PrepWise, www.prepwise.org. You can just type in prepwise.org. You can Google PrepWise. I checked. We're the first couple responses if you look for PrepWise, so that's good. If you're having any trouble, this is the big part where we have all of our AmeriCorps members here who are ready to answer questions and help you out. We do also have a list of the usernames that we sent out. So if you don't have that or misplaced it, you could just let us know. I will show you on my own screen. So I'm just starting from a fresh tab here. We're going to go to prepwise.org. Okay. This is what you would see. This is what you will see when you arrive at the PrepWise website. You see our logo up in the top left and right big in front of you. If you scroll all the way down, we have our login. So it says username or email and password. So for the first time that you're logging in, you have those usernames that we sent you. In my case, it will be DPW user 119. Yours will follow a similar format, DPW user, and then a 3-digit number, and it will be the exact same for the password. Okay, gonna hit login. And once you're logged in, it will ask you to change your username and password. So you'll type in that same username that you just typed in. So for me, it's DPW user 119. And where it says new username, you're going to want to put in your email address. So this is going to, if you put in your email address, if you lose your password later, you're going to be able to have that password automatically sent to you. So you're going to be able to, access the website with just your username and password like you would any other website. You'll have continued access to PrepWise for as long as the site is up, so hopefully forever. So for me, I'm going to put in my University of Iowa email address, nicholas-ostrom@uiowa.edu, but you can put anything. If you don't have an email address, don't want to put in your email address, you can put in something that just looks like an email address. So, as long as there's an @ and a .com, .net, .whatever, it's going to be fine. And then create a password. I'm just typing in, a password for myself. You can type in a password for yourself. Don't write it. It might be helpful to write it down if you don't have like a password manager on your computer. But yeah, it's just 8 characters long, 1 number, 1 letter. It's relatively simple compared to some places that ask you to pick out a lot of different things. Once you hit save, you will be in the website. All right. I was just going to ask. I'm going to take a second here because I know that was a lot. This is hopefully the hardest part of the process. Getting logged in is the hardest part once you're past that window. So is anybody having any issues? You can speak up, chat up. For the first password or for when you're changing it. The password will be the same as your username. So you can just type exactly the same thing in. Okay.
Sorry, I don't have any username. I'm totally lost.
All right. You said Linda. Hold on 1 second here. I'm sending somebody in chat her username and then I will send you yours. Linda.
Yeah, I can't find the email and stuff.
Who is that just spoke up?
It was just me again, just saying that I couldn't
All
find
right.
the email.
I just sent you the username, so you'll be able to.
Oh, thank you.
It's not working. It's. Mm-hmm. Hey, Amy, can you message Rachel and see how here? We'll just start sending our yeah. And then Lauren, can you message Garrett and try and help him through stuff?
What do you use for password?
Password will be the same as the username.
Oh, thank you.
And if Heidi's on, Heidi can maybe also help find usernames for folks. Heidi, I don't know if you can find Candace's
Yeah,
username.
I have that. I've been able to send that.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So if anybody else is missing their username, just say it in chat and I will send you the message with your username. Ah, sorry. Yes, some of the newer usernames, you'll have to click through create study account, and then it asks all of the same questions. It just spreads it out a little bit. So instead of asking on the hmm, no. Sorry. So if you log in with that username, you'll see create study account. So clicking through that will let you type in your email address, um, and then you'll change the password on the next page.
Okay, I don't know. I've got it. I'm on Action Center myself, so.
Awesome. Is anybody still having issues?
Hi, this is Candace.
Yes.
I am not seeing an email. I checked my spam too.
Mm.
Who's it
Mm.
come from?
It should be from the DD Council email.
Okay.
Mm.
It looks like yours got sent around 1 p.m. yesterday.
Heidi, are you able just to put that in the privately chat her that
I can send anybody there. I have the password list open.
So I think maybe just Candace needs her username.
yeah.
All right. Yep. Does anyone else need a username and password? Well, I've got one more person I want to help here.
But Nick, how are you sending Candace her email? Are you privately chatting her or are you sending like an email?
I sent previously I sent them privately, so I'll just put that in there. There's no, yeah,
Okay.
it's just a
Okay.
generic thing. It'll get
Perfect.
you, so I can just leave it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry about that. Um, I, Garrett, are you able to, I just messaged you if you're having trouble still. Um, if you wanna, what issue are you having?
Username and password, but I'm gonna try it one more time.
Okay.
And by no means, don't wait for me. I'll catch up.
Okay.
You
If you
keep
have any more
going.
questions, feel free to message Lauren or any of the other Americans.
Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks everybody for your patience. This is, like I said, this is the hardest part of it. This is as challenging as it gets. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and log back in. And this is just how you'll log in the future. So for the next couple of webinars, you'll be able to get back in that same way. All right. So once you are logged in, you will be at the home page. So, oh, awesome. Thanks, Candace. So on the home page, you have a few buttons on the top left, which will take you to our files page, which is non-functional, but I feel like I have to shout it out, otherwise people will ask questions. And then there's an additional resources page, which we'll talk about more in a future webinar. We also, on the top right, there's a button that will let you change your password or log out. You can always change your password whenever you want, but the username, that email address is going to be locked in now. You can also increase or decrease the text sizes if you're having trouble reading the website. On the left side of the website, there are buttons that will take you to each of the 5 steps. Below that are our special considerations, extra modules for people who have pets or service animals, caregivers, and anyone who wants to sign up for Alert Iowa. And we'll talk about those things for the last webinar in our series. Also, at the bottom of the homepage, we have some information about data and information security. as well as some contact information for the team if you have any questions about the program or the website. So I'll give you a little bit of a visual of those. You should be seeing this action center right now. Your name, your email address right up here in the top right corner. We've got the action steps. The introduction page has a video. The video will go over a lot of the same information that I've talked about this week or last week, just introducing Disaster PrepWise and what it is. And then below that, we have our privacy statement and our contact information. Nick Rajinski is our website guy. He's incredible. So if you're having any questions about the website specifically, trouble with your username password stuff, he's the guy that you want to reach out to. There's two Nicks. It's a little confusing, but he's pretty great. So, all right. So now that we have logged into the website, so today we're going to go through the first two steps. So you can see on the left side here, this is your action center. And so if you just want to click on begin, we can start step one. So step one is completing a personal and household inventory. You want to consider a few different aspects. So you want to consider alert and warning. So that's how you will be alerted and warned about emergencies. And that's things like smoke detectors, as well as things like, do you get email or phone alerts? Do you know what TV and radio station to listen to? All of those different aspects of being alerted, being warned about disasters. You want to consider how you will evacuate. So can you move to a safe place inside your home? Are you able to get there without assistance, or do you need some help? Are you able to leave home and get transportation with or without help? Do you need a person to help you? Do you need a piece of specialized technology to transport yourself? Those are questions you want to make sure that you're asking. And then you also want to consider sheltering. Can you stay somewhere else? Can you stay within your home for those 3 days that FEMA wants people to be prepared for? Are there a few different places that you are able to shelter? And so the first step is all about asking us those questions and also thinking about our own personal abilities and needs. So you want to make sure that you're planning for a bad day rather than a best case day. There are some aspects of your health that may not pop up every day, but if your knee acts up when it rains, or if there are some days where you have, a little trouble hearing out of one ear, those are important things to plan for as well, because a disaster will not be waiting for you to be feeling your best. We're also asking ourselves, can I do this independently? If there are things that I can't do independently, do I need a person to help me out? Do I need assistance? Or do I use assistive technology? Is there a specialized piece of equipment like a walker, hearing aid, things like that will help you do the things that you need to do? And so on the website, you should be on the first page of step one right now. Each step has a home page with a video and some text. The video and the text both contain a lot of the same information that I just talked about and that I talked about last week. So you don't have to necessarily read through all of that now, because it's a lot of information that I just gave you, but it's there if you need a refresher, or if you're showing somebody else the website and they're not sure about what step one is all about, or what any of the steps are about. So if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see the instructions for using step one. So each page will have a set of questions that you can answer yes, no, or unsure. If you answer no or unsure to any of those questions, that will make sure that there's an action step in the plan that you print out and that you download that you can do to help prepare you. For example, one of the questions is, do you have a smoke detector on all floors and in bedrooms? So if you say no or unsure, the action step that it'll put in your plan is get a smoke detector on all floors and in bedrooms. So they're direct things that you can do to help yourself prepare. There are also spaces to check if you need assistance or assistive technology, and those will be more useful when you start thinking about your personal emergency network, which is going to be in step two right after this. Finally, at the bottom of each page, there's a place for notes. The notes, anything you put in the notes box will pop up verbatim on the plan. So if you can add other action steps, you can add other notes, you can add kind of anything that you think is important to keep in your plan. So yes, and so yeah, those are the instructions there. You can go ahead and click the next button, and it will take you to the first set of questions. Now, before we ask the actual questions of step one, we just have a few questions about like who is helping you get the Disaster PrepWise program. Since we're all part of this webinar, everybody will have the same answers for this one, so I can just kind of help you out. Are you completing this by yourself or is someone assisting you? You can select other assisting. You can put in webinar instructor, webinar, and you can put in my name, Nick. You don't have to put in my full name. It's totally fine. That's mostly just so you have that reference information. So if you're ever unsure, can't remember, whatever, you have my name and you have who I am. You can click yes. Did this person receive training on Disaster PrepWise? I've done the training a few times. And then for where did you hear about PrepWise? If you've heard from it other places, that's awesome. Some people hear about us a lot before they actually go in there. But for everybody here, you'll at least click other and the Iowa Developmental Disability Council, since that is who is helping us out with this webinar team. I'll leave this page on there in a few minutes. I have a slide too. It has all of that information. Once you're finished answering those questions, and these are all optional, I should say, there's no question that we ask on PrepWise that you have to answer in order to like go on to the next page or anything. These plans are for your benefit, and so you can put in exactly as much information as you want or need. And so yeah, you could leave the entire page blank if you want. So once you hit next, we will get to the first page. So the first of our three little questionnaires is asking us about that alert and warning. So this is again about how you will hear about things in a disaster situation. And so the 6 questions on this page are: do you have a smoke detector on all floors and in bedrooms? Do you check smoke detectors monthly and change the battery every 6 months? Can you and everyone in your household hear the smoke detector, building warning system, or community warning sirens? Are you on a community registry or list to receive severe weather notifications and email notifications by phone, email, text message, or teletypewriter? Do you know the website, TV channel, and/or radio station that has weather and emergency information? And can you hear and see information from the internet, TV, smartphones, and/or radio about weather or disastrous situations? And then again, there's the little notes box at the bottom. If there's anything you have that you think, oh, I would like to make sure that that gets done, that is reminded while you're asking yourself these questions. I'm going to take a second and make sure, is anybody having any issues? Anybody have any questions? You have our same questions. Diane, one of our AmeriCorps members will message you to help you get logged in to the website and caught up with everybody. I'm filling out the questions for myself. All right, I'm going to go ahead to the next page. And we have more questions, this time about evacuation. So these questions are, can you and everyone in your home leave your home quickly if required to evacuate? Can you and everyone in your home identify and get to a safe place to shelter in your home? Can you and everyone in your home hear and follow directions and information from others? Can you and everyone in your home give directions and information to others? Can you and everyone in your home transport yourself to another location in case of an emergency? And does your family have a specially equipped vehicle or accessible transportation? And do you and your family have a meeting place for after a disaster? So you could go ahead and fill these out in the same way that you just did that first page. There is a recording for the first webinar, right? Yeah. Yes. Anyone have any questions about step or these questions?
Yeah, some of these, now I have a special needs daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And do I just answer the questions from my perspective, or like she might need assistance, she might not hear or understand or think
Yeah,
it's
so these will be, so the disaster PrepWise, I probably should have clarified that better. The PrepWise plan that you build is for your household. So if there's anyone in your household, that is going to have those needs, you can check for them as well. So this will include your daughter in that as well.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Hmm. All right. Once you're finished with the questions, you can click next and head to the last set of questions for step one. These are all about sheltering. So, do you or your family have a place to go for a few hours that meets your needs? Do you have a place to go for a few days to weeks that meets your needs? Do you and your family have more than one option available for each of the above as well as possible out-of-town options. And have owners of these places agreed to provide shelter to you or your family in case of an emergency? So again, you can go ahead and click through each of these questions, filling them out for you and your household. If you have any additional notes or anything, you can pop them right in that bottom box there. And please let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Once you're finished with those questions, you click next at the bottom of the page. It will take you to the final page of step one. So every step is going to have something like this. Once you've finished answering all the questions, before you click any of the other buttons to go back to the home page, make sure you click this little checkbox here that just says I have finished step one. Once you click that, you'll have one of these little task bars. And so the next time you come back to the step one, you'll be able to just jump to any page that you want. So you can adjust questions, you can add things, you can change your answers. And you don't have to just go clicking through manually. Once you click that checkbox, you just want to hit save and return to home. Every time you click any of the page change buttons, so save and return to home, next, back, PrepWise will save your answers. So as long as you're clicking those buttons, you are able to just come back right where you left off. So if you have to step out during this seminar at all, or if you want to come back in the future separate from any of them, you can always just come back, answer the questions right where you left off. All right, so we are now finished with step one, and you'll notice a couple of things. The button changed from blue to green, and now instead of begin, it says view modify. So you can just click that, and it will take you back right to where you left off. So it'll take you back to that page. There's also a new button, download your disaster plan. It's pretty self-explanatory, and I will show you exactly what it does at the end of this webinar. But while we are at the end of step one, we'll take just a moment to make sure, is there anybody who's having any issues, anybody who wants to wait a minute to catch up? Please let me know. Okay. You can always message one of our AmeriCorps members if you're having questions as well. Amy, Lauren, Hala, oh no, Liana, there we go, sorry. All right, but we'll go ahead, scroll down and click on begin for step two. So the first page of step two looks a lot like step one. Actually, before we go, let's talk a little bit, just as a refresher about what step two is. So step two is developing a personal emergency support network. So these are people who can assist you before, during, or after a disaster. So anybody can be in your network as long as you think they will be able to assist you. So this can be family outside of your household. Since PrepWise builds a plan for your whole household, your family members are not necessarily going to be the support network for themselves. You want to make sure that you have people outside the household, but you can have family you don't live with, people from your place of worship, friends, people that you work with, neighbors. We also, people with similar needs is a really good thing to have. If there's, for example, if you're somebody who uses a wheelchair to get around, has a wheelchair accessible home, It may be beneficial to find somebody to shelter with who also has a wheelchair accessible home. And it's possible that you could potentially help them shelter in the event of a disaster in their area as well. So building these links is really beneficial for everybody. And once you've thought of those three people, you want to make sure that you're speaking with them about what they would need to do to help you. So you want to make sure that we have three. There's spaces for three on the website. But if you have a fourth or fifth person in mind, that is also really awesome. It helps to have people with different skills from different places. There'll be a lot of different things that you're asking them to do. And so one person who may be able to transport you or shelter you might not be so good at reminding you when things are going on, or vice versa. And so you want to have people with different skill sets from different places. You also want to make sure that you're talking to your support network members before an emergency occurs. So you want to provide specific and detailed instructions about any special care that is needed. And you want to explain what you might need to recover from a disaster, just so they know ahead of time and are able to prepare appropriately. You also want to make sure that you're confirming that they're able to help you and then reconfirming every year or so. Just asking and making sure that they're still able to help you with all the things that they agreed to help you with. This is a good time to provide them with updated instructions if any of your care needs have changed. And you just want to make sure that you have those people. Okay, so now on the website, so on the introductory website, you can go ahead and scroll down to the bottom. Again, the video and the text is going to have a lot of what I just talked about. But the bottom of the page is going to have the instructions for the actual step. So the first page of step 2 will ask you to think of 3 network members and some of their information. And the second page will ask you about some specific tasks and who will be the best to do those. So once you click next, you will have the first page, which will have some information for your personal emergency network members. So we'll take a second here because this is sometimes takes people a minute to think of some people who might be able to help them. But you want 3 people. You can put their name, their relationship, and we have a few different contact information things here: phone, email, address. You can put in as much or as little information as you want. You can put no more than a name. Yes, absolutely. You can always come back in, change things up. It's very easy. You can just log back in, jump right to the contact page here and change things if you need to. But this information is just as much for them as it is for you. All of these people may be obvious to you, but if they don't know each other, it may be beneficial to have that contact information just in case one of them needs to contact the other and it's not easy. Having a phone, having an email address, those things can be very helpful. So we'll take a minute here. If you have any questions, like Mandy's, very good question. Yeah, please let us know. Let me know. I'll type in some names for myself too. Mm. You can always come back and add contact information as well. If you don't know somebody's email address or regular address right off the head, or even phone number, those are not actual phone numbers for my sister or for my friend. If you need to come back and add more of that information later, you can always log back in with your email address and password. So I'll click next, and next will take you to the meat of step 2. So you'll see that there are 6 tasks. We have preparation, alert and warning, evacuation, providing shelter, help with care, and transportation. Again, there's a notes box at the bottom. If there are anything that you need to add, any action steps, any questions, any things that you want to bring up with your personal emergency network members, you can always just put it in that notes box. But the way that the questions work is that you have a first choice, second choice, and third choice for each of these tasks. So for example, for preparation, my first choice is going to be my mother. My second choice is my sister. And my third choice is my friend Trish. You can choose different people for different tasks. My sister is much better at texting than my mom, so I will put her first here. And then, so the names that you put in on the first page will pop up in these questions in the second page. If, for example, there is you have one of the people who is not able to help you with something. So somebody's not able to provide shelter, somebody's not able to transport you because they don't have a car. People have different abilities and different needs, and so we want to make sure. But if they're not able to, we also have a need to identify option. So if if my sister's not able to shelter me because she is in Ohio, I want to make sure that I do have that third option. So I can put need to identify. And if I really want to make sure that I'm thinking about these things, especially with some of my personal emergency network members, I could just type in find someone else to shelter. So we'll take another few minutes here. This one might take a minute, so we'll just take a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, again, let me know. I will go ahead and fill them out for myself as well. Okay. So once you're finished with step 2, and don't feel the need to hurry on here because we've got some time, you can click next. And it will take you to the same kind of page that was at the end of step 1. And so checking that I got finished step 2 box will let you hop back to any of the pages that you wanted to go to. And so if I wanted to come back later, I could just jump right to the contacts page, personal support emergency network contact. And it will take me right back to the contacts page, where I can put in email addresses, regular addresses, change phone numbers, change entire people if I need to. You could do anything. You can change that stuff and then go to the next page, or you can just change that stuff and hit save and return to home. And then the next time you go in, it will put you right back at that page. being able to get to any page you want is not so impressive in step 2 just because there's only 3 pages. But once you get to step 3, which is what we'll talk about next week, it gets nicer, especially if you have a lot of household members, because that is a lot of pages. Okay. So we're finished with step 2 for the day. Is there anybody who wants me to take a minute, wait for them to catch up? We're just about to wrap up here, but the last bit I want to make sure that everybody is able to do. So I can happily wait. You know, we've got some time. I'm not seeing any objections. So I will hop out. Yes. So plan has to be done for each person. No. Plan can be done for the plan will include everybody. So this week, there were not any person specific questions, but in step 3 and step 4, each person would have their own set of pages. There's not a way to do multiple houses in the same one. You could either do 2 separate accounts. So if you need a second account, please let us know. Or 2 separate accounts. Different households are going to want to have different accounts just because a lot of the questions are kind of household specific, especially, you know, meeting places and home kits and things like that. So you want to do each house is going to want to have but every person in a household will be included in the same plan. Yes, Brooke.
Nick, like if somebody, you know, was participating today, but that they were helping somebody else, like maybe a peer or somebody they provide support to do this, do they just need to email that other Nick to get a username, or how does somebody that hasn't attended the webinar attend a username?
So for people who are interested in under normal circumstances, we try to do intervention. We try to do meetings with people with one of our team members.
Gotcha.
But currently we're in the process of trying to figure out the best way to make the website accessible to people outside of that kind of infrastructure that we have. So if somebody is interested and they're not at this webinar right now, just shoot me an email.
Okay.
Let me know. I can get them passwords. I can get them instructions. We're actually working on like a video that will be living on the homepage of the website that will explain what PrepWise is and how to use it. So so if they are interested, please let me know.
Okay. I think that will be helpful because since we're recording this, we may have some folks that weren't able to attend today, but then watch the webinar and that
Yes.
would maybe perhaps want a username. So that's helpful.
Yeah,
Thanks, Nick.
absolutely. Yeah, that would be great. This is actually, like I said at the beginning, this is like the first time that we are doing something like this. And so we want to make sure that we're making it as accessible for everybody as possible. And so that means if somebody's not here, we want to make sure they still have a way to do it. So yeah, just shoot me an email. I will give them the username and they can hop on the website. As you can, I kind of skipped back and forth a lot. But I can make this presentation available and it has all of the instructions that I talked about too. So, all right. So answered, yes. And if you have any questions also that are not to do with other people getting on the website, you can also shoot me a question. You can shoot me an email as well. I'm happy to answer any questions that people have. Yeah, we can make this slide successful for sure. So we finished up. And so now I want to talk to you about that fun download your disaster plan. So this will the way the PrepWise works is that all of the questions you're answering in these steps are going to go into building your own personalized disaster plan. So you can click on download and it will download a PDF. So if you want to click on download, you can download the PDF for yourself. I will open up mine. It is, it will eventually say your name on it. Where it gets the name from is actually in step 3. So after next week's, it will have your name on the front page. Today, it just says personal emergency plan for blank. But if you scroll down after the introduction, you'll see all of the answers that you've put in over the last hour. So my answers for my alert and warning assessment and those action steps, you know, post the website or channel information in your computer, purchase and install smoke detectors. Here's the ones for assessments, or the ones for evacuation and for sheltering. So all of the answers you typed in for step 1, and then here are all of the answers, the contact for the network members that you typed in for step 2, and all of the tasks that your support persons agreed to complete for you, along with a little description of what each of those tasks are if they have any questions. You can keep scrolling down if you want some spoilers about what we're going to talk about over the next few sessions. Step 3 is going to have more information about you and the people in your household. Step 4 is going to have information about prescriptions and medical supplies. So that's what we're going to do next week. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll take care of step 5, as well as talk about some of the extra modules and talk about some of the other features of the website. But in the meantime, you do have some of these action steps on your plan ready to go. Maybe between now and next Tuesday, you could look at those and find one of those things to do. It doesn't necessarily have to be smoke detector related. Those are a lot of my, a lot of the ones that I use as references just because it's easy, but, making sure that you know what website, channel, or station information, making sure that you know somebody who can provide transportation for you, practice leaving your home quickly if you think you might have trouble with that. So these are all things that you could do literally this afternoon if you wanted to, or once, everybody in your household is ready to go. But yeah, so that is all that I have for today. Does anybody have any questions?
I want to say thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for coming out. I'm so glad this is a really great reception. I'm so glad that we have people here who are getting stuff out of this. So thank you for coming. Thanks taking your lunch hour and spending with me. All right. Well, Amy dropped my email address in the chat, nicholasostrom@uiowa.edu. Our contact information, Nick Radzinski's contact information, if you have any trouble with the website specifically, is on there. But yeah, if nobody else has any questions, I can send you home a little early today. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Mhm.